Rain hit my windshield so hard I almost missed the sign. Private community road. Authorized residents only. Funny thing was, my grandfather built that road. Not metaphorically. Literally. He poured the gravel himself in 1981 with 2 tractors and 6 men from our town. And now a 29-year-old HOA president wearing designer sunglasses was threatening to have me arrested for driving on it. That was the moment I decided to bankrupt all of them. My name's Cole Mercer. 42, surveyor. Divorced. Bad knee. Too much caffeine. Not enough patience. 3 months earlier, I inherited 12 acres in northern Arizona after my grandfather died. Nothing fancy. A small cabin. A workshop. And 1 private access road cutting through a luxury gated community called Copper Ridge Estates. Problem was, Copper Ridge's HOA believed they owned the road. They didn't. But rich people have a dangerous habit. If they repeat a lie long enough, they start treating it like law. The first letter arrived 6 days after I moved in. Violation notice. Apparently my fence was non-compliant with community visual standards. I laughed because I didn't even live inside their HOA. Then I saw the fine. $38,000. I thought it was a typo. It wasn't. According to their attorney, my grandfather had implicitly agreed to HOA jurisdiction decades ago because residents occasionally used the access road. That's not how easements work. That's not how contracts work. That's not how reality works. But reality wasn't their business model. Intimidation was. I ignored the letter. 2 weeks later, they shut off the electronic gate connected to the road. Meaning, I couldn't legally drive to my own property without getting out and manually dragging a steel barrier open every single day. That lasted exactly 4 mornings. On the 5th morning, I arrived with bolt cutters. That's when I met Vanessa Clark, HOA president. Perfect white teeth. Perfect hair. Perfect fake smile. The kind of woman who says community values while hiring lawyers to destroy retirees. You can't cut that lock, she said. I looked at the chain. Then at her. Watch me. The chain hit the dirt 5 seconds later. Her face changed instantly. Not anger. Worse. Offended superiority. Like a queen watching a peasant touch royal silverware. You people always do this, she said quietly. That sentence stayed in my head all night. You people. Translation, working class local replaceable. Meanwhile, Copper Ridge was full of California investors buying second homes they visited twice a year. Teslas. Glass balconies. Outdoor kitchens nobody used. They called my grandfather's workshop an eyesore. That workshop built half the irrigation systems in this county. 3 days later, the sheriff showed up at my cabin. Trespassing complaint. Property destruction. Threatening behavior. Vanessa had security footage of me cutting the chain. Conveniently edited to remove the part where the road legally belonged to my property. Deputy Mills looked exhausted. Off the record, he said quietly. She's donated a lot of money around here. Of course she had. That night I pulled every document my grandfather left behind. Land surveys. County maps. Tax records. Utility easements. And then I found it. A folded agreement dated June 14, 1982. Signed by my grandfather. Signed by the county. Signed by the original developer of Copper Ridge. 1 sentence changed everything. Ownership of Mercer Access Road shall permanently remain with the Mercer family regardless of future residential development. I read it 3 times. Then a 4th. Vanessa wasn't just wrong. She knew she was wrong. Next morning I hired an attorney named Daniel Cross. Former military prosecutor. Zero humor. Eyes like concrete. His consultation fee was $900 for 1 hour. Worth every dollar. He reviewed the paperwork silently for 15 minutes. Then leaned back. How patient are you? Depends. You could sue now. But if you wait, they'll bury themselves. Turns out Copper Ridge HOA had bigger plans. They were negotiating a $22 million expansion project with a resort company. And the only legal emergency access route was my road. Daniel smiled for the first time. They think intimidation is cheaper than negotiation. So what do we do? Nothing. I hated that answer. But he explained. If we sued immediately, long legal battle, emergency injunctions, possible county intervention. But if we waited until expansion contracts finalized, then suddenly, banks involved, investors involved, insurers involved, more pressure, more leverage, more panic. So I waited. And Copper Ridge kept escalating. HOA fines became weekly. $2,000 for improper exterior lighting. $5,400 for unauthorized vehicle. $11,000 for visual property neglect. They even cited me because my cabin reduced luxury property aesthetics. One night somebody spray-painted loser across my workshop door. Another night my water line got cut. Then came Facebook. Vanessa posted, "Local aggressive resident threatening our peaceful community." Hundreds of comments. People calling me unstable, dangerous, violent. One person posted my address. That was the moment it stopped being about land. Now it was war. Daniel filed the lawsuit on a Tuesday morning. By Wednesday afternoon, Copper Ridge's expansion investors pulled out. By Thursday, the county froze all new permits. Friday morning, Vanessa showed up at my cabin personally. No sunglasses this time. No smile either. "We can settle this," she said. I almost laughed. 3 months earlier she tried to have me arrested over my own road. Now she wanted peace. "How much?" she asked. Daniel answered before I could. "Everything." Her face twitched. Turns out the HOA had already borrowed millions against future expansion revenue. Without my road, the project collapsed. Without the project, Copper Ridge defaulted on multiple loans. Then discovery phase started. And that's when the real nightmare began for them. Internal emails, board messages, recorded meetings. One message from Vanessa to the HOA board literally said, "Pressure him financially until he folds." Another, "He's divorced and isolated. He won't survive litigation." They underestimated one thing. I grew up poor. Stress doesn't scare poor people. We grew up swimming in it. The court hearing lasted 2 days. By the end, HOA fraud proven. Illegal fines invalidated. Harassment documented. Property interference confirmed. Judge Holbrook looked disgusted during the ruling. His exact words: "This HOA operated more like an organized extortion racket than a residential association." Copper Ridge lost everything. The HOA dissolved 6 months later. Vanessa resigned before criminal investigations started. Last I heard she moved to Nevada. Probably to start ruining another neighborhood. And the road? Still mine. But here's the part nobody expects. I didn't close it. Could have. Legally. Instead I converted it into a public access easement under county supervision. No gates. No HOA control. No private enforcement. The residents hated me for about a month. Then something funny happened. Food trucks started using the route. Local businesses got traffic. Property values stabilized. Turns out communities work better when psychopaths stop running them. Last week an old man stopped me near the workshop. Said he used to know my grandfather. He pointed at the road and said, "Your granddad would have enjoyed this." Maybe. Or maybe he would have told me I should have charged tolls. Honestly, he probably would have been right. And if there's one thing this whole mess taught me, never underestimate how far arrogant people will go when they think ordinary people can't afford to fight back. Because sometimes the most expensive mistake rich people make is assuming paperwork doesn't matter. Until it does.